The air at my father's funeral was heavy with grief and rain, but it was her whisper that cut through the mourners' murmurs like a blade. He's next and I get everything. I stood frozen beside the open grave, my wife's voice low venomous, slipping into my ear like a secret I wasn't meant to hear. Clara's gloved hand rested lightly on my arm, her face a perfect mask of sorrow. But her words lingered, sharp and cold. As the first clod of earth hit the casket below, I told myself I'd misheard. Grief does that, twists sounds, warps meanings. Clara had been my anchor through Dad's illness, her gentle hands organizing his medications, her voice soothing his final days. She'd cried harder than anyone when he passed, her tears staining the hospital sheets. But as we walked back to the car, her heels clicking on the wet stone path, I caught her glancing at my brother, Tom, with a look I couldn't place, something hungry, calculating, like a chess player eyeing the board. At home, the house felt too quiet, the kind of silence that hums with unspoken questions. Clara busied herself in the kitchen, her dark hair pulled into a loose bun, her movements graceful but mechanical. "You okay, David?" she asked, not looking up from the kettle. Her voice was soft, but it lacked the warmth I'd once clung to. I nodded, my throat tight, replaying her funeral whisper in my mind. "He's next." "Who? Me? Tom. And everything." What did that mean? Dad's estate? The house? Our life? I tried to dismiss it. Clara had always been practical, maybe too practical. When Dad's will was read, she'd asked pointed questions about the inheritance. How much, who got what when? I'd chalked it up to her accountant's mind, always tallying. But now, her questions felt like breadcrumbs leading somewhere dark. I watched her pour tea, her fingers steady, and wondered when I'd stopped knowing her. That night I couldn't sleep. Her breathing beside me was too even, too composed. I slipped downstairs, the hardwood cold under my feet, and opened her laptop. The screen glowed in the dark living room, casting shadows that danced like ghosts. Her email was open, a habit she'd never broken. One message, sent to Tom 2 days before Dad died, stopped my heart. "It's almost time. He won't suspect. We'll split it clean." My hands shook as I scrolled. Another, "Patience, Tom. David's too caught up in grief to notice." My brother. My wife. The betrayal wasn't a shadow anymore. It was a flood, drowning me. I wanted to scream, to confront her, but something colder took hold. I needed proof, not just words on a screen. The next morning, I feigned normalcy, kissing her cheek as she left for work. "Love you," she said, her smile flawless. I nodded, my chest aching, and waited until her car pulled away before searching the house. In her desk drawer, beneath a stack of receipts, I found a folded note in Tom's handwriting. "Meet me at the cabin. Friday. We'll plan the rest." The cabin, Dad's old fishing retreat, where we'd spent summers as kids. It was isolated, perfect for secrets. Friday came, and I told Clara I had a late meeting. She didn't blink, just kissed me and said, "Be safe." I drove to the cabin, the road winding through pine trees that loomed like sentinels. I parked a mile away, creeping through the underbrush, the air thick with damp earth and betrayal. Through the cabin's window, I saw them, Clara and Tom, their heads bent close over a table littered with papers. Her laugh, sharp and unfamiliar, sliced through the glass. "Once David's out of the picture," she said, "the insurance payout's ours. Heart attack like his dad. No one will question it." My knees buckled. I clutched a tree, bark biting my palms, as her plan unfolded. They'd drug me, stage it, claim the money. My wife, who'd vowed forever, was plotting my death with my brother. Rage burned through the heartbreak, but I stayed silent, listening until their voices faded into the night. Back home, I waited. When Clara returned, smelling of pine and lies, I played the grieving husband, asking about her day. She lied effortlessly, her eyes soft but empty. I didn't confront her. Instead, I called the insurance company, quietly canceling the policy. I met with a lawyer, transferring assets to a trust she couldn't touch. And I watched her night after night, her mask never slipping. The twist came a month later, at Tom's birthday dinner. Clara raised a glass, her smile radiant, and toasted to family. I smiled back, my heart a stone. To family. I echoed, knowing I'd already filed for divorce and sent Tom's note to the police. As her glass touched her lips, I leaned close and whispered, I know everything. Her face froze, the mask cracking at last, and I walked away, leaving her to drown in the shadow of her own betrayal.